Alright, hello everyone. So this will be a speedrun tutorial for Persona 4 Golden, Hard Golden Ending category. So first of all, there are a few things that you're gonna need before you try a run. So I recommend getting a timer of some sort for one of the manips later on. I use a flow timer with an offset of 7781. It doesn't really matter what you use as long as you have some way of timing for a manip. The settings you're gonna want to change is you're gonna want to use persona memory off. It's gonna make grinding in the lab easier and more efficient. And I also use inverted camera. That's obviously a preference, but for some reason this game calls it inverted. But if you use the right analog stick, it's actually inverted by default, and you unvert it, if that makes sense. Because I guess they expect you to use L1 and R1, and for those that actually does invert the camera. But yeah, these are the settings you want to use. You want to use persona memory off, basically. You choose hard, and the timing starts when you choose yes. So one thing to note, a lot of people still to this day don't know that you can hold triangle to skip text, that you cannot fast forward. So early game and anytime there's a lot of cutscenes, you're gonna want to hold triangle every single time, basically. But don't start holding triangle while you're actually doing something. Like, how should I say it? While you can actually move, because that way you're just gonna open up the game menu, and you obviously don't want that. The timing when to start fast forwarding is in the loading screen TV at the bottom right. Once the TV goes away, I quickly triple tap the start button and it starts fast forwarding. You only need to press it twice, but when I press it twice, it sometimes eats my input, but it never does with the triple tap, and it also never like cancels it out with the triple tap. Because that's the problem with Persona 5. If you play Persona 5, if you even just double tap the start button, it's actually gonna cancel your fast forward, but not in this game. You want to talk to Dojima. You want to go, like how you see how I did this weird movement where I went up and then turn around again. You want to go up a little bit before talking to Dojima, otherwise you're gonna just talk to Nanako instead. On these evening cutscenes, this is where I start holding triangle already, because you're gonna get this evening cutscene, and then after that you're gonna get some sort of text dialogue or not. It's really, on some days you do, on some days you don't. So I just hold triangle now, so that the cutscene, when the cutscene ends, I already have the skip text. So as you can see, it skipped that tutorial. Just go to sleep now. And again, I know that there will be some text boxes, so I'm holding triangle already. Again, you don't want to let's see here, I'm moving. If I would have started holding triangle now, I would have opened the menu. But because I'm holding it before that, when I can't open the menu, I still get the triangle effect of skipping text right here, as you can see. But I also don't open the menu. Another thing, holding triangle doesn't skip text fast. It doesn't skip it frame perfect or anything. So you want to mash X on top of that. Just holding triangle isn't really that fast. You want to mash X on top of that. Except in the dungeons, because in the dungeons, if you mash X, after the text box ends, you're just gonna attack with your weapon, and you can't move while you're attacking with a weapon. So yeah, when you're holding triangle to skip text, mash X on top of that, or mash circle if you want to cancel a text box later. But don't do this in the dungeons too much, because swinging the weapon cancels basically the time save you save by mashing. What else to say about the early game? On these, when I'm fast forwarding, I'm actually mashing X as well, because if a text box pops up where I need to answer something, like answer something in game, it answers it. I'm not mashing it very fast. I'm mashing it like really slow, because keep in mind this is gonna be a long speedrun. It's gonna be more than 9 hours, probably more than 10 hours, you know, for a first run or something. So you don't want to waste your energy by mashing when it's not really needed. So I'm just mashing like really slow. I'm just gently tapping the X button. If a cutscene is playing where the main character is not in a cutscene at all, obviously there's absolutely no need to mash, because there's not gonna be any cutscenes. How should I say? There's not gonna be any text boxes where you need to answer anything. There's gonna be one pretty soon with Adachi and Dojima, where they're investigating a murder. Alright, so on these screens, um, the order is always the same. It's Yasogami High School, Shopping District, Junes, Samegawa Riverbank, and then Dojima Residence on the menu. So when you're going from school, you just want to press up to go to Dojima Residence. And yeah. And then when you're in Dojima Residence, the first option after pressing square is to go back into town, and the second one is to go back home. So then you want to press the second one. On the classrooms, we will actually get knowledge. The main reason why we want knowledge is we want to pass the exam on summer to get an accessory from Nanako that gives +5 to all stats. That's the main reason we get knowledge in this route. We actually get some more stuff from exams as well. We get a chest keys, because we will open a chest in Magatsu Inaba. We also get mystical scarabs, even though I'm leaning towards skipping those, honestly. Because with this route we have enough money to just use the fox in Hollow Forest. There's not really any need to use the scarabs now. Plus using the fox is actually faster than menuing to the scarabs. Then we also get Soma, but again with this route, Soma is we get way more Soma than we need, so we can basically just skip that Soma as well. And again, the chest keys, we do need the chest keys, but there's a really big chance we can get one from Shuffle Time when farming Golden Hands. So again, it's really up for debate. If you get, we're actually gonna, the first exam is gonna be after the first dungeon, so if you get a chest key from the first dungeon, then obviously you can just not get the reward for the chest keys. You still want to pass the exam, because passing the exam gives 20k from Dojima, and if you fail the exam you only get 10k, so it's still worth passing the exam to get more money. But yeah. Also, as you can see, we answered the answer correctly. I'm gonna add my notes to the description on the video. So obviously, you know, I still recommend to at least edit them or make one from scratch yourself. It's, you know, make them in a way for you to be comfortable, for it to be comfortable to use in a run. I made mine, you know, for it to be comfortable for me, but I know that some people hate my formatting and whenever I use the fucking notepad document. So yeah. What else? What else is there to say about the early game? I guess I pretty much said everything that I can say before the actual gameplay starts. I guess I should also say there's no need to hold triangle while you're fast forwarding. It doesn't actually help. So I'm just mashing X now. I'm not holding triangle. Holding triangle is only for the text that you cannot fast forward. Another good indication for when you're going, like, when you're going into evening is if the TV closes out, that means you're getting a cutscene. If before that you're hearing a door sound, a sliding door sound, that means it's not a cutscene. That means you can actually, you're gonna actually be able to do something when you enter the house. So that's a really good indication of whether or not should your thumb be on triangle and square, or should your thumb be on a start button. I'm also using a PS4 controller. I don't really. I guess it's up to you whether or not what controller to use. I personally, I like PS4 controller, not so much for this game in particular though. I want to say this controller is. I mean, it's still good. Okay, whatever. Don't mind me. It has this pretty annoying touchpad that you're sometimes like, I'm sometimes pressing start button with my left hand, and when I do that I sometimes, like, you know, have my thumb over the touchpad on the right side. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Also, as you can see, we got a do you want to save screen. On those screens it's always, you have to answer no and then you have to answer yes. So you go to right, so it's right X, left X. Obviously you can save but it's a bit slower, you know. Alright, and we're almost up to the gameplay. We almost reached the gameplay.
Huh?
Alright, there we go. So for this fight, you have two of these Licky boys. They're weak to Zeo. and they die to Zio and a basic attack. So you want to use Zio, and then you just want to rush for a basic attack. Another thing, you want to rush on enemy turn because that speeds up their animation. But that only works for mini bosses and normal enemies. For the bosses, I want to say it works for Shadow Yosuke, so I will be speeding up on Shadow Yosuke, and it definitely speeds up the getting up animation against Shadow Chie. Not the actual moves though, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't actually speed up any of the rest boss fights. So I personally don't rush on any single boss fight aside from Shadow Yosuke and Shadow Chie. But yeah, make sure you rush. Make sure you activate rush before enemies turn on regular fights and on mini boss fights. Yosuke, it's completely scripted except for one thing, and that thing is Yosuke can crit you. It's really unlikely to happen, but basically, if you just have the notes, you know, it's always the same pattern. You Zio cleave twice, you guard, Zio medicine, Zio cleave twice, guard, Zio cleave, and then just rush. There is a little bit of menu lag in this game, a little bit. So don't try to menu too fast because you're gonna misclick.
It's guarding it.
Once you get used to the menu lag, it's really not bad. It's really forgiving. But just know that it's there. And if you try to menu too fast, you're gonna misclick something. That's one of the things I like about Persona 5 is that it doesn't have any menu lag at all.
In the ass. Here comes an attack. Get out of my sight.
Alright, and now we just rush. So that's Shadow Yosuke for you. Completely scripted fight. Again, I said for one thing, he can crit you. I personally never actually got it, and I've never even seen a crit here. But I know from reliable sources that it can happen. So luckily this thing is pretty early in the run. It's 17 minutes in the run basically, so even if that does happen, you can just reset. But yeah, if you actually die on this fight, there's no retry button, there's no anything. It kicks you into title screen, so you're basically resetting a run for real. In every single other fight, what they do is they put you to the start of the floor of the dungeon, but obviously there is no dungeon for this one, so this is the only fight in the game where if you die, you get kicked into the title screen. So yeah, there's a lot of cutscenes in the early game, a lot of them. When you get a new social link screen, you want to mash X as well, because as you can see, there are three like text lines, and if you don't mash X, you're gonna get a first one. Then after a bit, you're gonna get a second one, and then you're gonna get a third one even later. But if you mash, you get second and third one immediately after the first one. And you cannot fast forward immediately after that. You need to wait until like the spirits come into you. Okay, so this is the cutscene I was talking about. So as you can see, we are not in this cutscene. So obviously there's no need to mash the X button here. There's not gonna be any dialogue options. And this is what I was talking about when I said the sliding door sound. That means we're not getting a cutscene there either. We're gonna buy some armor here. Once we actually reach that point, there's still a lot of cutscenes. Before that, we're gonna get to prison. We're gonna get arrested for having weapons. And there really aren't a lot of dialogue options in the actual main story that matter. There are quite a bit in the late game, obviously, you know, to not get bad ending and all that. But in the early and mid game, there's really not a lot, so you can just spam the first one pretty much every single time. Alright, so the first option is to buy a weapon, and the second is to buy an armor, and we want to buy an armor for the main character. And you want to sell the old one as well. Some more cutscenes with the Velvet Room. Getting introduced to Marie. We will have to do Marie's social link in this run. Marie's social link is required to get golden ending. You need to max Marie's social link, and you also need to go to the Velvet Room on January 2nd. We want to buy 2 value medicines. We will use one value medicine on Shadow Chie, and we will use another one on Shadow Yukiko. And now just enter the TV. Alright, so you want to do one fight on the first floor. We want to get... man, English language. We want to do one fight because you always get either slime or pixie after the first battle. And obviously we need at least one more persona to actually do any fusion at all. We can't just go full Izanagi. I would prefer to do a fight against a shadow that I can get a player advantage on, obviously. Alright, this one works, I guess. I didn't get player advantage, doesn't really matter. These guys are weak to Zio. Don't use Zio, I'd say. You want to keep your SP, so I just rush these. You also want to change Yosuke's AI to direct commands, obviously. And do we get Pixie or do we get Slime? We get Pixie. Okay. It doesn't matter at all. Technically, Slime is just a little bit better because you get resist physical, but overall it really doesn't matter. You also get Rakunda for beating this fight. You want to heal with Yosuke, and you want to restore your SP with Soul Drop. The way SP works in this game is pretty dumb, is that when you level up, it increases your max SP, but it doesn't increase your current SP. So even though we have bigger max SP, we actually have to heal it to actually get it. But you don't want to forget it, because we will use all of our SP against Shadow Chie. Shadow Chie is like 80% scripted. There are a few turns where she can either use a basic attack, which you want to see, or she can use Mabufu, which you don't want to see. And there are 3 turns like that, so you can actually get triple Mabufu'd. And that really hurts. But in my notes I have like a script of the fight. You can just follow it and we should be fine. So yeah, Rakunda. Garu into guard because she will use Mazio. You don't want to use all out attacks here. Definitely don't want to use all out attacks.
We're not gonna? A waste.
The only battle where we do all out attacks is one of the mini bosses in Hollow Forest. That's the only fight in the game where we do all out attacks.
Counting on you. No, wait, what? Okay. Persona.
There we go. We got a basic attack. So that's already a really good sign, you know.
Counting on you. Persona. 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 Counting on you. Persona. Wait, what? Okay.
So this is where we want to use our Valley Medicine. Because she can use Mabufu now. We want to be on a high SP. On a high HP, I mean. Yeah, there we go, she uses Mabufu. And I think this is the turn where she can use the third one. Yeah, this is the turn where she can use the third Mabufu. No, it's not. Yeah, it's not. Never mind. It's later. I don't know. Getting triple Mabufu is very rare. You don't really get it. Actually, this might be the turn where she can use Mabufu again. Yeah, I think this is the one where she can use Mabufu again. No, okay. I don't know, whatever. We got only one Mabufu, which is average, I'd say. Getting one is what you're mostly getting. That's Shadow Chie. If Yosuke dies, I'd say revive him. You kinda want EXP on party members in Yukiko's dungeon. Because the Yukiko hits hard. You definitely want them to survive. Should have taken some more water for this. Didn't really comprehend how much talking I'll have to do. This is another Persona 4 Golden thing, where we get costumes. We're gonna get a high school jersey here. Obviously, you can use the costumes. It's slow. You know, it takes a little bit of menuing to equip them. And they don't give anything, but if you want to look fancy, do it. I actually did it in my PB as well. Although way later, I didn't use the jersey, I used the bath towels and I used the Trap Teddy outfit. Here we get a Chia social link. After this, you want to choose the second option, because the first option is to ask the number straight up, and we don't have enough courage for that. We need to choose the second one, which is says for the investigation. Then we get a class question. The answer is the third one. When you're choosing the third one, you can go just up. As you can see, I did down twice. The reason for that is because sometimes there's 4 options, and I don't want to put in my notes whether it's a 3 option or it's a 4 option. So when I see a third option, I just go down twice, so that way it doesn't matter if there's 3 options or there are 4 options. I will choose the third one either way. Here we want to buy 1 go home and 25 ice cubes. You can buy 26. As you can see, the max we could buy was 26. You could do that. But 25 is what we need, basically. And we're gonna do the dungeon on the first day. The reason why we do it on the first day is because today is a fusion forecast where we get some stats up on fusion just by fusing, so that makes it useful. You want to go straight into dungeon, and you want to skip every single shadow and just go to the 5th floor. The 5th floor is a scripted floor, but we don't want to use we don't want to fight the mini boss yet. We just want to get to the 5th floor first. There are ways to tell whether the door you're opening is a corridor or a stair or just a normal room. I don't know the visual cue for Yukiko's castle. I also don't know it for the bathhouse. I know it for Striptease, I know it for Void Quest, I know it for Heaven. The thing is, with Heaven, with Lab and everything after that, it's way simpler because once you level up Risei, she gets enemy scan and she gets treasure scan. So you can just look at the minimap and tell whether, you know, it's stairs or not that way. That makes it way simpler. Yo, hey Worldy. Yep, we're doing educational stream. So yeah, just going up the 3rd floor. Obviously, don't get ambushed by any shadows. That should go without saying. We don't have any Vanish Balls in this dungeon. After this one, we will buy Vanish Balls for the rest of them. Even though we only need them for Kanji's dungeon and for Kanji's, Risei's, and Mitsuo's dungeons. After that, we get Instant Escape. Ooh, Golden Hand. If it's not a triple, don't fight it. So we will only fight it if it's a triple one. Okay, it's a single one, so we're just gonna run. We don't have enough items to deal with singles and doubles. We can only do triples. Alright, there we go. So there's the 5th floor. So we want to go into the room on the left, because that room always has a chest with 3 diamond shields. Diamond shield is basically a Marakukaja item. It gives defense plus for the whole party. We're gonna use one of those against Yukiko, second one against Mitsuo, and if things go really bad, we can use the 3rd one on Ameno Sagiri. So there's a lot of shadows, but just keep moving. Just keep moving and you're not gonna get ambushed, and just go home after opening the chest. And here we come up on the first golden hand manip of the game. So you save the game, you close the game and you relaunch it, and just mash into the game. This is a fairly simple manip. You don't have to do anything. Just basically this one is just save and reload the game, and don't do anything else, and you're gonna get a triple golden hand if you're on the right seed. There is one seed that doesn't give a triple hand, but the seed you do want to hit is more likely to hit, so it's all good. So just go straight into the dungeon, go straight into the 5th floor. And the first encounter will be a golden hand, and you can basically tell from its pattern. If it's moving into a wall, it's a good seed. If it's not, it's bad seed. Here you go. You see it's moving into the wall. That means we're on a good seed. That means it's a triple hand. If it's not doing this, you can just reset immediately without even trying to ambush it. There's no need to, because you will get a single hand. So yeah, change the Chia's AI and just spam ice cubes for this one. It takes 3 ice cubes to kill 1 hand.
Someone else's turn. 3 enemies. Let's get through
oh, another thing. If you're on slime route, you want to finish the first fight on Izanagi and the second one on slime. If you're on Pixie route, you want to finish everything on Pixie.
Charge through them. Kike-chan is spotting
Oh
you
wow.
left and right.
What? What? That never happens. Okay. I'm actually surprised. That never happens.
One enemy! Fight! Fight! Fight!
Yikes, it's tough.
That was easy. I gotta step up too.
And we want to do this twice to get level 11. We want to reach level 11, and 6 golden hands is enough to do that. So just heal up, go home again, and do the manip again. There's actually no need to wait until you see the save completed screen. The world record holder Molsky doesn't wait, he resets when it still says now saving. I'm personally like really scared to do that, so I always wait for that save completed, but just know that you can do that. You don't have to wait for the screen. Alright, let's see if we were on the right seed, and... No. Now, as you can see, it's not moving into the wall. That means, like I said, this is a bad seed. So, I'm gonna try ambushing it, but you're gonna see that it's gonna be a single hand. Although we have to wait until it turns around now. Yeah, I will show it, just, you know, so you would believe me that it will be a single hand. At least theoretically it should be. Yeah, there you see it's a single hand. So that's how the manip works. So there are 2 seeds. There are 2 seeds for this manip. And this one gives a single hand. I wonder if it's because of this text. Usually you don't get this text that I just got here yet. You get this text when you're low on SP, but usually you're not low on SP yet. Yeah, I think actually that's the reason. Okay, that's actually new to me. Yeah, I never got that text before. While I'm doing my nips, so that's probably why. We can just fix that easily by just reading the text and doing my nip again. So let's just do that. So let's read the text. Yeah, let's read this text box here and just save again. So now we're not getting the text. The way RNG works in this game, it's not like old games where it's, you know, where it changes every single frame. Instead, it changes every time something meaningful happens in the game, I guess you could say. Every time something happens in the game, that changes the RNG basically. So the timing to hit a lot of the RNGs is way more forgiving than you think. Alright, so are we on a good seed now? Yes, we are. Yeah, so it looks like that text box right there messes the RNG.
A rare monster. Beat the stuffing out of it.
I'm actually glad that I got that on the video now.
That's some thick skin. 3 enemies. Let's get through this.
All right, only 2.
Damn, it's not going down. 2 enemies. Charge through them.
Someone finish it off.
Good work, Sensei. That's 1 so far. That's some thick skin. 1
That's
enemy.
some thick
Fight,
skin.
Fight, fight.
Yikes, it's tough.
Alright, we also didn't get any shuffle times. Sometimes you get a seed where you hit a shuffle time that gives a chest key. That's actually good, because if you get a chest key here from shuffle time, you can skip getting the chest keys from the teacher after acing the exam. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing, because, you know, walking up to the teacher takes quite a bit of time. So it's better to just get one from shuffle time. And here we're gonna do some fusions. So obviously the fusions are different for whether you're on Pixie route or whether you're on Slime route. So just follow the notes basically. You will get a tutorial first time you enter the search menu, and you will get a tutorial first time you enter compendium menu. So just prepare your triangle button, basically. And here we're coming up on the first mini-boss. Actually, the only mini-boss of this dungeon. Most dungeons only have 1 mini-boss. Some have 2. I don't think there's a single dungeon that has 3. Oh, let me think. No, there's not a single dungeon that has 3 mini-bosses. It's either 1 or 2. And in this dungeon it's 1. So you want to just take a loop around the whole thing here. And this is where you want to turn around, because the door on the right is the mini boss door. So this boss is really simple. You shouldn't have any trouble. Yosuke only spams bash. Chie uses Tarukaja turn 1 and then spams cure. And you should be using Rakunda turn 1. And then double Agi to make him dizzy if he's not dizzy already. And then after that you spam hysterical slap. And again, you want to be rushing on enemies' turn on the mini bosses.
Oh, Chie-chan, that was beautiful! Damn, it's not going down.
So again, double Agi to make him dizzy so he wouldn't get a turn.
It's down! Wait, what? It's okay. You hit its weakness! Smart move, Sensei!
Someone finish it off!
And now just spam hysterical slap. Hysterical slap is a pretty strong move for this stage of the game. It's a double hit with a pretty good good power.
It got
Like one hit of hysterical slap does more than Yosuke's bash, and you get 2 hits of it. It's insane.
not bad, partner.
Here we hit level 12, which is like a good thing. We will fuse Eligor here, but obviously you don't want to go home now and fuse it. You want to go to the last floor first and then go home to fuse. Whoops. Yeah, I'm used to that's actually a good thing that happened. If you have a party, the menu option to go to the next floor is the 3rd one. But if you're going solo, the menu to go to the 2nd floor to another floor is the 2nd menu option, because the 2nd menu option, if you have a party, is to change their AI. And the last floor of this dungeon is floor 8. And that's a golden hand. Oh, that's a dead end. You can actually walk into the golden hands, so make sure that doesn't happen. If you walk into a golden hand and they get enemy advantage, they will always hit a weakness, always, and run away. Getting ambushed by a golden hand is not really something you want. Especially if there's a regular shadow close by, because even like then you're gonna get a follow-up as well. And by that point it's really bad, especially in the first dungeon when we don't have any vantage balls. Alright, there we go. So heal up with Yosuke. I don't know why I heal with myself. And do one more fusion. So we're gonna fuse Eligor here, like I said. Both routes, Pixie and Slime, fuse Eligor. They fuse it differently. Obviously, save before any fusions. Even though that doesn't really apply here, I'd say only save before fusions in the first 2 dungeons. After that, you have way too much money, to the point where if you get a fusion accident, you can just rebuy the stuff. Hysterical Slap and Rotunda are skills you need here. If you're on a slime route, you obviously get resist physical as well. But we don't have resist physical on the Pixie route. So I just took Rokukaja because it's the second, like it's the next option after Rotunda. And then we buy a Robust to prepare for our skill change Manip fusion, which will be Eligor and Orobus into Sylph. But that's gonna be at the start of the 2nd dungeon. And now the Shadow Yukiko boss fight. So this fight is completely scripted, except for one fact, that there are 2 turns in the fight. There are 2 turns where you will have to use Hysterical Slap without using Ice Cube first, which means you can miss. We are on Tsukukaja on those turns, so the chance to miss is pretty low, but it can happen. And if you do miss, it's not good. It's still winnable though. So just follow the script basically. Just follow the notes. Rotunda. Diamond Shield. Terukaja.
You're in my way.
Ice Cube into Slap. Don't do all out attacks as well,
We're not gonna.
obviously.
A waste.
Again, the only fight where we use all out attacks is one mini boss in Hollow Forest.
Throw down. Persona.
That's almost funny.
Come on! Take this!
There's no point in rushing on this fight, it doesn't speed up. I was just holding triangle to skip the dialogue box because I knew it was coming. Alright, so she used White Wall, which means we have to use Hysterical Slap without using the Ice Cube before that. And here's another turn where we do that. There we go, we didn't miss, so basically we won. There's not a single thing that can go bad now. It's literally impossible for us to lose now unless we misclick. Which, you know, misclicking does happen. I would be lying if I said misclicking doesn't happen, but it shouldn't happen, you know. So now we just spam Ice Cube into physical moves until we win, basically. And she will not do a single damage to us.
If you say so. Persona. Chie-chan's really hurting. Heal her. Throw down.
Another thing, use Skewer instead of Skullcracker. For some reason, Skewer does more than Skullcracker. I'm not sure why. I forgot the reason why. But for some reason, Skewer is better than Skullcracker.
Nice.
Even though Skullcracker is technically, you know, a higher tier move.
Throw down. Chie-chan's really hurting. Heal her.
I don't understand. You won't lift a finger for me.
No one's coming. Now's your chance to attack.
We're not doing it?
Oh.
So, like I said, she doesn't attack us at all once we start using this spam here, because she wastes a turn summoning a prince, then she wastes another turn summoning prince again, and now she will use a fear move, usually on Yosuke. Maybe it's always on Yosuke, I'm not sure. Yeah, she always uses it on Yosuke, at least to me. I don't know why. I don't know if that's like scripted or not, but she always uses it on Yosuke. And there's the first dungeon. It's that simple. It is that simple. I will be doing the first 2 dungeons today on stream. Yes, educational streams for the win. Yes, and if anyone on Twitch is wondering, this will be on YouTube as well. I want to make this, you know, a pretty useful guide. This will be on YouTube. PogChamp. After every single dungeon, you get a lot of cutscenes, and at the end of the cutscenes, you always get, if you want to save, you always get a question if you want to save. So just prepare. So just prepare to answer no, basically. That happens after every single dungeon. Alright, and here is where we start doing nothing. The menu to go from school to home is square to open the menu, up twice to choose go into town, up to choose to go to the Ojima residence, square to open the menu, down to go back home. And then when you're home, it's square and X to go to your room. Now we can't do anything on this day, so we're just gonna sleep, but we will be doing quite a bit of studying now. We want to ace the first exam to get chest keys. Getting chest keys is pretty important. Even though we only need one key for the entire game, and that's to get Divine Pillar accessory, which gives the same effect as the skill Firm Stance. You cannot dodge, but your damage is halved. You take half damage. So it's really useful late game against Ameno Sagiri and Izanami. It makes you way more tankier. And it makes not having party not such a big issue. Alright, so we're gonna do quite a bit of studying. Don't mash up while you're in the overworld map screen. Just wait until all the text is popped up and then press up. If you're gonna mash, you're just gonna go up like two times or something, and then you'll have to go back. It's not worth it. Just wait out until the thing actually finishes and then press up. I wish I would have a hand cam for this, because the menuing I used to... the way I hold my controller when I do the menuing to War Back Home is pretty ridiculous. I wish I had a hand cam, but whatever. I hold the controller in a very weird way when I do the going back to home warping. Okay, so today is a red day, it's a Sunday. On the days without school, it always starts with a cutscene. So you can always prepare your start button to skip a cutscene. It always starts with a cutscene, except there's like 3 or so days at the very end of the summer holidays before September where they actually don't start with a cutscene. But basically, when you see a red day on the schedule, just prepare your start button to skip a cutscene. Another thing, again, like I said, there's like a very little bit of menu lag in this game, so don't choose class answers immediately. Like, don't once you see the text boxes appear, don't immediately press down and X or something. Wait, like, I don't know, like 0.1 second or something before you do that, because otherwise it's gonna eat your input. The menu lag is really small, but it is here in this game. Once you get used to it, it's really not bad. You notice it way more when you go from Persona 5 to this. Because in Persona 5 there's really no menu lag at all. Another thing, yeah, I didn't even comment on this day. We went to buy a study book, and we accepted translator job, and we started doing translating. We will do translating a lot in this run, not as much as Persona 4 vanilla run, but we still do it quite a lot in this run as well to get money. It's pretty much the fastest way to get money. Before second dungeon, you always want to choose the second option when you get a cutscene when translating. The second option always gives the same amount of money. If you choose the first option, you're gambling. There's like a 50-50 chance whether or not your gambling will succeed or not. But since we need a specific amount for the second dungeon, we always want to choose the second option for now. That way we're guaranteed getting the money we need, the amount of money we need. But after Kanji's dungeon, you can start gambling. When you see a rainy day like this, just prepare your start button when going home, basically, because it might be a deadline, you know. I know it's not a deadline because I'm looking at my notes and I see to read a book. Obviously, if I can read a book, that means it's not a deadline, but just keep in know that once you reach the deadline, there will be a cutscene where you know you watch a TV with Nanak when they say, "And now the weather." So just prepare your start buttons, basically. Again, another red day. That means it will start with a cutscene. Good thing about the weekends is it always puts you straight near the table, so you can just hold triangle, mash X, and you will start translating immediately. That's a really good thing, you know. On the deadline midnight channel cutscenes like this, there are no calls or anything, so no need to mash the button here. Your friends aren't gonna call and saying, "Oh, nothing appeared on the midnight channel. Wowie." But yeah, now we have some more cutscenes. Another thing, you want to be mashing X when you get a rank up. If you don't press anything, it's just gonna stay on the rank up screen. You want to press X to actually advance that, and then after it goes away, fast forward again. Here's Adachi. Totally not a killer. Totally innocent man. Not much to really comment now. Another Sunday. Always starts with a cutscene, always puts you near the desk. Even though we're getting a call now. Alright, and since exams are coming up, before before exams, you can actually study with Yosuke, and that's actually a good thing. We want knowledge, and it's also not even that much slower than just going back home. So we just talk to Yosuke and study with him. It gives us knowledge, and again, it's not even that much slower than just going home. So it's really convenient. Here we got a rank up in our expression. The higher your rank is, the more money you get for translating. That's, you know, pretty self-explanatory, I guess. Here we have the Nanako Junes cutscene, whatever. We're getting Justice rank 1. We're not gonna do Justice social link. We actually don't do any single social link aside from Marie in this route. We used to do rank 10 Chie way before, like way back. Then we stripped it to only rank 3 to get Galactic Kick and some Chariot rank ups, just, you know, to get more EXP on Chariot Persona fusions. And now we just don't need anything at all. This route is so busted that we can skip everything, basically. We can't skip translating, though. We need the money to actually fuse stuff. Alright, here's another red day. On red days before the exam, it's actually really handy how... if you study the whole day. You don't have to study the day, and then it goes to evening, and then it just studies the whole day, basically. So that's really handy. Even later on in the run, where we don't even need knowledge anymore, we're still doing this just because it's faster to skip the whole day by studying, aside from doing a translating and then going to sleep. Here we get one of the most important social links in the run, the Fox. It's really convenient. We don't level it up at all, obviously. That's gonna be super slow. But even at rank 1 with overpriced healing, it's still really helpful. Getting pretty much unlimited SP with the amount of money we get from translating. So we're almost on the exams. The exams are gonna start on Monday. Right now we're on Saturday. Alright, once again it puts you right into the table. Oh, here, as you can see, we got a longer loading screen. If you get a longer loading screen on Sundays, that means you're getting a call to hang out. So just prepare a up button and a start button, you know, to decline them. You never want to hang out with them that slow. But yeah, that's actually a really good way to indicate it. If you're getting a longer loading screen after the first cutscene, that means you're getting a call. Also, this is a very weird. This is a one of a kind in the run where after the cutscene, it puts you to your room instead of down on the first floor. It's pretty weird, but whatever. Alright, and here's the exam. So you want to pass them. You want to pass them no matter what, even if you got a chest key, because that gives you more money from Dojima. But since we didn't get chest keys, we're also gonna grab the chest keys as well. Oops. Yeah, sometimes, you know, you do mess up the menu like that. Yeah, Dojima says we should do a Dachi social link. We're not gonna do that. I'm actually surprised it's not needed to get golden ending. Like, I would imagine it would be, but you know, it actually doesn't matter because you get the same like story stuff. You're just not getting the rank ups later on. And you're not getting the Arcana shift. But like the actual ending is the same or something.
Well,
So yeah, just a bunch of cutscenes basically now. Right here we're getting Yukiko social link, and just like with the Chie one, you also want to choose the second option because the first one is locked on courage. We can't ask for her phone number straight up. We have to say it's for investigation because the main character doesn't have enough balls, you know. Alright, you know, so we go to Teddy. Teddy says he can't find Kanji. And now begins the part that I don't like about this game. Info gathering. We need to talk to Kanji's mom in the northern shopping district. So just go to northern shopping district, talk to Kanji's mom. There are no text boxes to answer. And then we're gonna go to Shiroku store to buy some items. We want to have 2 medicines, 5 go homes, and 2 vanish balls. So 5 go homes, 2 vanish balls. We already had 2 medicines, so don't need to buy those. Alright, and on this day, the exam results are up. So we can get our chest keys now. Don't forget to do this, obviously. Otherwise, we're gonna have to gamble on getting one from Shuffle Time. So just go to corridor, turn around, and the history teacher is here by the stairs. Oops, here we go. We wanna go to Junes and talk to Naoto now. And this completes the info gathering for this dungeon. But we're not gonna do the dungeon yet. We're gonna do the dungeon on the next day, because the next day is the skill change day. And just like you can probably guess, this is a skill change manipulation route, so we're gonna abuse that heavily. Talk to Dojima to get money for passing exam as well. But yeah, 5:20 is the skill change day, and that's where the magic happens. So go into TV. You will get a cutscene here because of the Fox social link, so prepare a start button. So instantly you wanna save the game and reopen it. And now you wanna pay attention to the TV color at the bottom right. It needs to end on the red one. If it ends on blue or purple, it's a bad seed. Okay, so as you can see, it ended on a red one, so we're on a good seed. So for this manip, you just want to mash into the game. And you want to choose, for Pixie Route, you want to choose, Rakukaja, Rakunda, and whatever. Rakukaja, Dakaja, and Rakunda, but Dakaja needs to be the 4th skill. Alright, there we go. And what I did there, I was counting the rotating thing in the top right. And there we go, the Kaja changed it to Megiddo, just like that. So you want to count those. So for this one, it takes 5 flashes. Fifth disappearance of the thing, basically. To get that. And now we just entered the dungeon. You wanna ditch the party, and you wanna move, and you wanna go to floor 7. Preferably, we wanna find at least one golden hand on our way there, and kill it. Because we reset the game, there is a golden hand on this floor as well. Resetting the game always spawns a golden hand on the floor. On the first floor you enter, but the issue is this floor is random, it's not set, which means oh, there we go, there it is, right here. Nice. What I was gonna say, the location of the golden hand is random as well. Luckily we found it. It's only a single hand, it's still good enough. It's still gonna give us level 16, because that's the whole reason we do this now. We need to reach level 16 to fuse Jack Frost. And for some reason, if you use Megiddo, they only use Sukukaja. I don't know exactly why, but it always happens like that. It's a good thing. They don't damage you. I'm gonna take the avoid encounters.
Congratulations, Sensei!
So, since we got a level 16, I'm gonna move on to the second floor. I'm just gonna go back and fuse Jack Frost now, because if we're gonna find more golden hands, that's gonna be super good, because we want to farm. We don't want to farm golden hands on Sylph. We want to farm them on Jack Frost, because Jack Frost needs to hit level 25 to get Mind Charge. We just had to do the first one on Sylph because we were not level 16 before, and we can't even fuse Jack Frost before that. So just heal your SP, war back. Do the fusions. Alright, so now that we have Jack Frost, we can continue the dungeon, hopefully find more golden hands. One thing to note about golden hands, if it's gonna have a follow-up, then only bother if it's a triple hand. If it's a doubles hand or a single hand and it has a follow-up, like if you know it'll have a follow-up, don't even bother with it, I'd say. It's a waste of time at that point. The third floor is a set floor, but we don't do the manip here, we do it on the 7th floor. Don't go into this door. Skip it. I think it leads to a dead end. We want to go this way instead. Don't be afraid to get close to shadows. Dodging them is way easier than you think. Dodging them in Yukiko's castle and Void Quest, I'd say, is tricky. But everywhere else is really simple. And you shouldn't really get ambushed much. Oh, we got into a dead end. Not really finding any golden hands, but you know, that's fine. We're gonna manip them on 7th floor anyway. It's just obviously faster to find the non-manipped ones. Alright, there we go, 7th floor. So for this golden hand manip on the bathhouse, it's actually not as simple as just save and reload the game. On the title screen there are falling stars, and you want to pay attention to the first falling star on the left. You want to click load game when it's off the screen. I wish I could like highlight it or whatever, but I hope you understand what I mean. So don't mash too fast now. There we go. As you can see, there were 2 stars falling. Just start when the first one is off the screen, and that will give you a triple hand. Sometimes you get a different seed where there are 3 stars like a triangle falling. In that case, also wait for the first one to fall down. For some manips, getting that seed messes it up. Not for this one though. For this one it's fine. But yeah, this gives us a triple hand.
A rare monster! Beat the stuffing out of it!
So just spam Megiddo on these ones basically. They just use Surukaja, so you know, they're dodging their attacks, but whatever. You're gonna kill them. Don't rush on 3 of them. For some reason, like only 2 of them get a turn after the first one. It's I don't know how the turn order actually works here, but and now 3 of the turn order is dumb for this manip specifically, but whatever. Oh no, one ran away.
The enemy ran away!
No. No, and we missed again. No, we only killed one. That's kind of bad, but whatever. Whatever.
You did it, Sensei!
We have enough go homes to kill. Actually, do we? 3 go homes, we may be fine. It's actually not even that good. No. We'll see, we'll see. But now since we're level 20, we can also use Gur. It's actually pretty bad that 2 of them got away. Hey, Canbot. Alright, so we're gonna manip the hand again. So once again, just like before, wait until the first star leaves the screen, and then click load game. And hopefully no hands run away now. It's actually pretty unlikely for them to run away. Yeah, I'm recording this for YouTube. The route is it's pretty hard to understand just from text. So I figured it needs a video explanation, you know.
No one stands in Sensei's way. Persona. Great, Sensei! Go for broke!
Alright, so if we hit this... Nice, okay, so no one run away now.
You did it,
Level
Sensei!
25, so now we can go and fuse Kaiwan. Get Bufula over Mabufu. Bufula is gonna be useful on the mini-boss. Don't need dodge fire. I think we're actually gonna be low on EXP now. Monkas, we'll see. The problem is we don't really have enough go-homes to keep doing this. Alright, so... Sandman and Apsaras. Alright, one more manip. So this should be the final one, but we're kind of low on EXP because of those runaways. I'm not sure if we'll be fine. Oops.
A rare monster! Beat the stuffing out of it!
How's it going? So I think I'm actually
Amazing.
not gonna get enough EXP that I need. We got a triple hand encounter, but 2 ran away. And I thought I'll be fine, but now I think I might not be. Alright, what level are we? 29, yeah, we're low. We're a bit low. Oh well. Let's do the mini boss and see how high we're up after the mini boss. It looks like we'll have to do just regular shadow encounters. Lol. Okay, so don't let 2 shadows escape. Don't let 2 hands escape. One escape is not bad, but don't let 2 escapes basically.
Whoops! It caught you off guard.
I guess is what I'm gonna say. So for this mini boss, you want a physical wall, Rakunda.
One enemy. Fight! Fight! Fight!
And then just spam Bufulas until he dies. Yeah, he kills himself basically. Yeah, so we're level 30. We need to be level 31 to fuse Osei. We need to be level 31, so I guess I'm gonna like... do I just fight regular shadows now? Oh god. Oh god. Alright, pretend this didn't happen. So just pretend this didn't happen. But we're gonna fight some regular shadows, yeah. Whoops, okay, whatever. Yeah, if 1 hand runs away, it's not a problem. If 2 runs away, it's no good. Even I didn't know this. Even I didn't know this one. And yeah, the hitboxes on shadows are... sometimes they don't want to work. Oh, there we go. There we go. This is exactly what I needed. Yo.
A rare monster.
Yo.
Stuffing out
Never
of it.
punished. Never punished. Alright, so now we're actually higher than we're supposed to be, but whatever. We want to teach Mind Charge over Sukukaja. And now just go to the top. Alright, so just pretend we didn't have to kill this hand. Just pretend we only killed what we had to kill. I don't want to re-record this just because of this, you know. Wow, another one. That's a lot of golden hands. So this dungeon has 11 floors. So 1 more floor to go. And then we're gonna be back to skill change manip. Hey, you thought Megiddo was the only skill we changed? Nope. Megiddo is not the only skill we get through the skill change manip. We're gonna get Brave Blade, Traisto, Diorama, and Repel Physical as well. Traisto isn't really needed. I personally don't even really use it, but it's in the middle of a triple manip, so you know, we get it just because of that. But yeah, heal the SP on the Fox as well while we're here. So for this one you don't have to wait for any falling stars, but you have to get a red TV color. So let's see, do we get it? Yep, we got red color. Good. So for this one, you can just mash. And then for Narcissus, it's 5 flashes of the thing. For Shisa and Nozuchi, it's 3. But the thing with Shisa and Nozuchi, you don't really have enough time to count. So I'd say just memorize where exactly the thing should be. I think I might be early by 1. I'm not sure. I kind of lost the track of count. I think I might be early by 1. Nope, I'm not. Okay, there we go, Brave Blade. So there's Brave Blade. Oh, whoops. I chose the wrong. I misclicked the skill. On Shisa. Yeah, so the manips are kind of tricky to do at first, you know. That's a blue load. We need to get a red load again, like I said. If you see a blue load or a purple load, just reset immediately. There we go, that's a red load. So again, it's 5 flashes for this one. There we go, Brave Blade. So this should be Balzac into Traisto. There we go. And this should be Poison Mist into Diorama. Nice, there we go. So that's the triple manip. It's pretty tricky to get down at first, but you're gonna get a hang of it pretty fast, I'd say. It's not bad. It's not hard. But now the final one. Ooh, the final one is tricky. So the tricky part about the final one is it's a very tight window. It's a window of about 4 frames. It's a window of about 4 frames. So what most runners do, we use a timer. Like I said before at the start, we use a timer. First of all, you want to get, that's a purple load. Like I was gonna say, you want red load just like with the rest of them. You want red load. You also want to wait on the falling star. Then you want to wait on the search screen a little bit for the arrow to move. And when you click the OC in the search menu, that's not good. Once you click OC in the search menu is when you want to start the timer. You're gonna hear some ayaya sounds soon because that's the audio cue of my timer. I use ayaya sound. But the time to wait is about 8 seconds. With my IIS sound, it's 7.781 second. Alright, I think that's good. I think that's good. So Tetrakarn should change into Repel Physical. But the timing, again, is pretty tight. There we go, first try. So, if you're seeing Diorama change into Anima Freeze, that means you're late. If you see Power Charge changing into something, I think. I don't know. I forgot what is the early one. I forgot what's the early one, but if you're seeing, I basically only get late one. If you get Diorama into Anima Freeze, that means you're late. And now the only thing left to do is the boss. So add your party again. Heal with Yosuke if you want to. And yes, this is some high quality RNG manip. This is the RNG manip we wanted. We've all been waiting for. Alright, so Kanji, as you would probably expect, with a moveset like this, with Brave Blade Repel Physical, yeah, this fight is a joke. Don't forget to change tactics, because we have Yukiko now. So we're gonna Power Charge, Sukukaja. You want to Moragi twice to dizzy the right dude, while also doing a little bit of damage to Kanji. You want a Tarukaja. Yosuke and Chie are basically just Sukukaja and Tarukaja slaves in this game. They're basically only there to use Sukukaja and Tarukaja. No need to rush on this fight. Rushing doesn't speed up animations in this fight. Rakunda, Kanji. Guard with Yosuke and Yukiko. One more Tarukaja, you know, Tarukaja is always good. We would use Sakukaja here as well, but Mazio, you know, Yosuke is weak to electric, so we have to guard with Yosuke.
Someone help her!
Ice Cube on Nice Guy.
Well done.
Brave Blade on Kanji. And then heal the main character using the medicines we bought before. And this is where a party dies. This is usually where a party dies. Yeah, Fanatical Spark, and they die. Alright, he uses a Power Charge. If he uses a Power Charge, you want to use Power Charge as well, because that means he's going to use a physical attack. If you attack him now, it's not good because that might make him use Fanatical Spark instead. But if you don't do anything and just Power Charge, he will use either Rampage or Assault Dive or something. Or Swift Strike, yeah, Swift Strike. Yeah, he uses Swift Strike, he uses Assault Dive. He uses some physical attacks. And basically this fight is won at this point. You don't want to be too low because Fanatical Spark, you know, you don't resist that. And we don't have a good armor on us. So yeah, I'm just gonna heal now, I guess, whatever. Just to be safe. I could have went for Brave Blade, but the thing is, hitting without Tsukukage is not good odds, honestly.
Persona.
You're gonna miss a lot without Tsukukage. That's the thing. Alright, and there we go, and that's Kanji. And this is basically the first 2 dungeons in under 2 hours. That's how you beat the first 2 dungeons of Persona 4 Golden on hard difficulty in under 2 hours. But yeah, this is where I'm gonna end the tutorial for now. This is the part 1. I will do this for the entire game, obviously. I will make it like 2 dungeons each video or something. Educational titties. I love this bot. I love this bot. Why didn't I add it before? Alright, so I'm just gonna save the game. Obviously, in a run, you would choose to not save the game. But since this is where I'm gonna end it for now, I will. Alright, so thank you all for watching. And I'll see you in the next parts.